Eyes facing forward. Try and keep your head above shoulder level so your chin doesn't drop down. Keep it up. Omigi. It's there. Concentrate on your breathing. Breathe in. As you kick out, so you get perfect line from here, giri, pull it back, then down, check your feet facing forward. Nikia.
So my fist is always straight down, not bent, otherwise from here. And fist is usually a 45-degree angle to here, so I'm hitting with the first two knuckles. Chuak is the key. Here, the chuak angle is from here. This is from here, jaw and this from here. From this position, I cover down. So the punch completely misses me. Remember, everything is about dodging, not about the block itself. From here, full punch. Here, I move. Yeah? Again, you'll see. Does that make sense? Yeah?
It goes from white belt to yellow belt, green belt, blue belt, brown belt, then black belt. That usually takes about 3 years. And then you have different levels of black belts. So you have a shodan, which is your black belt. Then you have first dan, second dan, all the way up to 9th dan. But after 6th dan, it's usually honorary. And there's a sort of age and time limit to every particular grade.
Yeah? So really try and make sure it's much cleaner.
As we know, Shunji Kempo is aspects of both martial art and the philosophy. It's very important to have the combination of both of them.
I was around about maybe 14 years old when I started to teach martial arts. I became the youngest black belt in the country. I've had the opportunity to travel throughout the world studying martial arts. The wonderful and unique thing with the art is that wherever you go in the world, it remains true to its origins. The art always teaches you within life. If someone teaches you something, it's your responsibility to give back. So when I go to martial arts, I teach, there is no financial reward. The reward comes from within, and that's where the spirit is in the soul, and that's what I try to give back.
If you destroy yourself by helping others, you have nothing else to give. Does that make sense?
I started in hairdressing. I was around 12 years old. My father used to drag me into the salon out in South Walton Street, and I used to wash the hair and sweep it up and just kind of be around and helping out in any way I can. So I guess I started from a particularly early age and sort of grew for a passion for it. The hardest thing for me within having a business or doing different things is finding the time. Time, I think, is a trap for everyone, but it's also a door for everyone. I always feel, I'd love to develop, spend more time on this, more time on that. But again, if you're running a business, you have to balance your time. The atmosphere I like to create in the shop is one of peace, harmony, tranquility, and also on those lines somewhere that people feel that there is a solid structure. Sometimes the salon gets particularly hectic and the demands can become a lot. You'll have somebody wanting me on the phone, you have a client waiting to go, you have a client waiting to come in, I'm already in the middle of doing the client, or the salon's particularly busy and needs something of my attention. So everything, for yourself feels driven apart. My job to train people comes from their own enthusiasm to learn. I have the know-how and the capabilities to teach whatever is necessary for them to learn. It's important that the feedback that I get from them will help them develop. Even in that, if I feel that their passion or their heart isn't in it, because everything I try to do within life I feel needs passion, then I will look at the situation and determine whether or not they're worthwhile teaching. When I do the teaching at Pineapple, for me I try to make the classes as exciting as possible. With we often have a lot of different styles of salsa, and I call it salsa funk, salsa jazz, because I try to include all the elements of which I've learned and trained dancing, and creating my own sort of style along with my colleague.
The guys just going to turn.
And what we try to do within the class is really develop a very kind of great energy. A lot of people look at something like the Latin dances and look at it as a very sensual or erotic or beautiful, sort of a passionate dance. And for all those who ask that question, you're right, it is. And when you're going to a class, I feel one needs to implement the dance aspect, and that's what I try to put across within the dance, is for people to enjoy, to have fun, and to learn it.
And smile whenever you have the opportunity. It always makes the class a little bit easier. Okay, so let's carry on.
What I try to do out of every day, whether I succeed or not, is always learn something different. And that way every day counts. If you go through one day and you feel you've learned nothing, one should really look at one's life, because you're not going to have a lot to look back on. There's always so much out there to learn, and I wish one's body would last long enough to learn everything.